you're born. Like, for example, if you're born in December, then the spring of every year for you as an individual starts in December because your birth promise puts the sun in the wintertime. You were born during the wintertime. So your spring or your new year or your revivification begins in winter. If you were born in June, in the beginning of June, then your revivification, your spring, is at the end of spring. If you were born in August, then your life's spring, the circumstances in your life that you regard your spring, begin in August, every year. Every year. So this is part of the natal promise. And this message, I decided to bring this message to the fore because a lot of people out there are wishful thinkers. Religion and philosophy and dogma causes you to think outside of the box, which is all good, okay? Because it promotes the fulfillment of certain promises that are given in your chart. My thing is, I'm a fatalist, okay? When you got people that are not fatalists, you got optimists, you got fatalists, you got people who are the people? Cynics. You got all kinds of different philosophies, but experience and actual manifestation of reality indicates that you are born under a certain set of conditions that no matter what you do ain't gonna change. No matter how much faith you implement into your action ain't gonna change. You're born a woman, I don't care what you believe, you're a woman. You can go get an operation and transform your genitals into that which looks like the male phallus. You're still a woman. You can be born a man and get the physical alteration of your form into what looks and feels like a feminine gender, and you're still a man. All right? You were born black, you were born white, or you were born Asiatic, or you were born Asian, or you were born with African genes, or you were born a Caucasian. You cannot do anything to change these things. You cannot change your parenthood, your parentage. You cannot change the number of brothers and sisters you have. Even if you were crazy enough to murder all your brothers and sisters, you cannot change the fact that they were born, that this is how many brothers and sisters you were born to experience. So this rule is in effect in astrology. There's no way out of that. There's no way to escape the reality that you were born under. What you can escape now is if you were born with Mars and Gemini square Saturn square Saturn in Virgo, okay? Which means obstacles at work because of your verbal expression. Having the knowledge of this, you cannot escape the condition that you're under, but you can escape the way you act within it. And there goes your willpower. There goes your ability to mutate and to use your natal promise to the highest and most fulfilling and beneficial extent. And I speak this, a lot of people are like, nah, I had a spirit of God, man, I can create, I can become whatever I want. Well, go out tomorrow, man, and develop a pair of wings on your shoulders that grow out of your shoulder blade and fly to China. and fly to China, okay? And bring me back the J Vase, nigga. You did? And bring me back to J Vase, Mr. You have power over everything in your life. You did?
Yo,
Change the fact your mother named Martha, your father's name is Paul, your father was born in North Carolina, your mother was born in New York. Change the fact that you were born from them too. Change the fact that you got 2 arms. Grow me 7 more then. You see, so there are certain circumstances that you've been given. Now your planetary placement in your chart fall in line with that. It falls totally in line with that. We're not here to overcome our chart. We're here on this planet to use what we've been given to the ultimate potential. See, you fail when you choose not to use what you've been given. What you've been given is 5-digit code. You see, five digits on each limb. Let's put it that way. said some people going to say, nah, I got 4 fingers and a thumb, nigga. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, the thumb ain't nothing but a finger. It's a digit, okay? So you've been born with 5 digits on the end of your limbs if you're not deformed, right? Some people have 6, you know, and they're super formed, okay? Maybe that's the next human race. But at any rate, some people, you know, the average person born with 5 digits. Now, you can use these 5 digits to write sonas, you know, that inspire people. You can use these 5 digits to grasp a tool that will build or destroy. That's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that you have nothing but these 5 digits to use. And astrologically, that's what you've been given. You've been given planets in certain places. Use them when you receive them, okay? You know, and because your natal promise guarantees you peace of mind in this life. You see, that's the point. You know, people who seek to gain outside of the mind is not subject to astrological influence, though. Proof of that is, you know, you were born with Mars and Gemini, which means that you have the ability to be a motivational speaker. You have strength in your arm, whether you're male or female, because this is what it tells you. But you can say, nah, I want strength in my leg. Well, guess what, man? You always be better with your hands and your legs if you got Mars and Gemini. And you can strive for Mars and Sagittarius, and because that's your imagination grants you that. But your natal promise does not. So you got people out there that love basketball. And if they practice from today until 2041, they'll never be able to leap like Air Jordan or Julius Erving. Because they wasn't given that promise. So knowing your natal promise is what gives you the ability to establish what you're here to do. All right, I really want my co-host to speak. Y'all have anything
I want to elaborate on something that about natal promise dealing with the rising signs. You know, one of the another things that's very exciting about reading people. I love to read people's 10th house. You know, and one of the illuminations of the 10th house that you don't find in a lot of astrology books is that it's the house of highest potential. Okay, you know, we know that it's the house of status, career, reputation, fame, and infamy, you know, and what you're known for. Okay, so it's the house of high potential. And I found it astounding to find that a lot of the best athletes in the world, the best at what they did, were Cancer risings. And we find that, and this is not that they all are, but a lot of the best are. And we find that because Cancer has Aries, which is the sign of, you know, athletes, military warriors, combating, you know, in competition in the house of highest potential. You know, so we look at someone like Bruce Lee, who was Cancer rising, one of the best martial artists around. That's what he was known for, kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? And I find that very exciting because this natal promise that we're talking about now helps people, guide them to their highest potential, the careers they're supposed to be looking into, and focus on something called the midheaven in their charts, okay? Which is the avenue in which they take to achieve these highest potentials and to achieve these great things in their life. And so now we understand why people who are Scorpio risings and like several people, like I think it's Scarface. What's the guy named Scarface? What's his name? Al Pacino, I think it was. I was looking at, and I'm not sure, but I know Nia Long is. And why we find that these people who are Scorpio risings are some of the best drama actors out there, or get some of them, or even if they're not the best actors, they get some of the most, they get most of the attention in Hollywood, you know, because Leo is at the top of their chart. You know, we find that some of the best scientists who've ever lived were Aquarius, Taurus risings, which puts Aquarius the sign of high science and invention and genius.
Einstein and Tulsa, yeah, that's right.
Einstein and Tulsa. And so, you know, you're wondering, what am I good at? What does my native promise bring me? Well, I invite you to look into your 10th